Even the mighty Lego company is guilty of some mishaps here and there. Some are small enough to go under the radar, but some simply can't be ignored. Brace yourselves as we explore some of the biggest, most entertaining mistakes Lego has ever made. Some of them cost the company a pretty penny, and some might just turn you into a brick-laden millionaire. So let's kick things off with Shazam. Normally, Lego minifig legs aren't painted, but wait, what's this? Can you believe it? Shazam from the Lego movie struts around in golden boots like he's auditioning for a hip-hop version of Cinderella. But here's the kicker, my friends. In the real Lego world, he's just rocking these little plastic toes barefoot and fancy-free. I mean, what's next? A Lego fashion show where Batman shows up in a bat cape and bat crocs? It's a bit odd, don't you think? I mean, come on, Lego folks. Even our blocky buddies deserve some stylish leg wear. Let's get those legs printed stat. $1 million mistake. Talking about printing, a small print can be worth more than $1 million. How, you ask? In the record of employee fails, 2015 was a special year for Lego. Picture this. Someone mixed up dark gray and light gray labels on a whopping 120,000 Lego sets. Now, you might think, oh, that's just a little color mix-up, no big deal. But hold your Lego horses. This innocent mistake ended up costing the company a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. So, did Lego go all medieval and fire the hapless employee responsible for this rainbow of confusion? Nope, not at all. Instead, they took a page out of the Lego Playbook of Wisdom and decided to level up their systems. Now that's some corporate magic right there. Take note, folks, when life hands you Lego lemons, don't squeeze them. Upgrade your lemon squeezing technology. Kudos to Lego for keeping their cool and turning a colorful crisis into a lesson. Now, let's look at some misprints and worthy defects. When it comes to the world of toys, precision is key, especially for those iconic interlocking bricks we all know and love, Lego. But hold on to your tiny brick-sized hats, because sometimes the plastic molds that create these miniature marvels can have their own little mishaps. They might get a tad too much material or not quite enough, resulting in shapes that are, well, a little off-kilter. And you know what happens to these quirky misfits pieces? They can't join the Lego party anymore. But here's the twist. When life gives you misshapen Lego, you might just stumble upon a collector's gold mine. That's right. Some of these offbeat pieces become novelties, and they're worth more than your run-of-the-mill bricks. So, if you happen upon one of these rare treasures, consider yourself part of the chosen few, the Lego Elite. Keep it in your collection, and you've got yourself a bona fide Lego unicorn. Now, let's dive into the world of print mistakes. Just like the misshapen ones, these print flubs are also quite the rarity. Imagine stumbling upon a Lego piece with a misprint that turns it into something truly unique. It's like finding a diamond in a sea of cubic zirconia. But here's a word of caution, my fellow Lego enthusiasts. While some print oddities can be priceless gems, others might just be DIY jobs by someone named Dr. Muscle. So, when you're on the hunt for Lego treasures, keep your eyes sharp and your bricks even sharper. Dr. Muscle reminds me of the factory, and while the shape and the size can be very easy to check, prints are hard. There are billions of Legos getting built every day, and a couple of them might get a little misprinted, like this. But that's okay. Your imperfections make you unique, and in this case, a novelty. Being a sheriff is a noble job, but what if the sheriff has a weird face? Now, look at this one. It seems like they messed it up big time, but the messier the better. But not always. This one of Mr. Beaker from the Muppets turned out so creepy. Why? Misprints that print under his nose, making it look like he's bleeding, and those eyes just add to the charm. Ugh! Other entries include unpainted Stitch. Now, let's talk about Disney. This wizard Mickey was found giving someone a little side-eye. Seems like this Mickey's very interested in whatever's happening around. Now, if I have to introduce one of the biggest screw-ups in the history of Lego, and possibly Disney, it would be the cursed Pinocchio. But actually, we cannot blame Lego for it, as most of their products don't have a side. It is just a cylindrical plastic with the face printed on it, but with Pinocchio, they had to add this iconic nose, and that could be something new for the factory. But then, what about this? This and this? Some of these Lego sets could be a coincidence, as this archer has a perfect battle scar on his face. Or this nanny who seemed like she was applying makeup on a roller coaster. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a leap from Lego people and enter the wild and wacky world of Lego pets. Now, These little critters may not be as cooperative as our plastic pals. You see, much like Pinocchio, they come in all sorts of shapes, and that's where the factory's print precision can go a bit haywire. Believe it or not, Lego animals are like the rock stars of misprints. They've seen more print mishaps than a rookie tattoo artist. And when they come in pairs, oh boy. Take a gander at this owl, for example. Now, owls are known for their head-spinning talents, but this little guy seems to be auditioning for The Exorcist with that 360-degree head tilt. And what's up with those two random dots in the back? Are they playing a game of connected dots and we're missing out on the masterpiece? But hold on to your Lego cowboy hats because there's more. There's a whole farm set where the rabbit seems to have joined the ranks of the one-eyed pirates. Arr, matey! So remember folks, in the world of Lego pets, it's not just about fetching sticks, it's about fetching laughs and surprises too. Have you ever seen a video game controller made of Lego? Enough with production errors. How about a giant leap from toys to video games? Well, Lego made a game controller battery operated, but it got so hot that it was a hazard. I mean, look at this. Big ups to Lego for their quick action for fixing it, but that in the hands of a kid could melt their reputation. Lego is a brand built on kid-friendly bricks, and to all the Bob the Builders out there, you're in safe hands where they're safe for your hands. Well, let's dive into the world of Lego controversies, shall we? Imagine strolling through a toy store and coming across a Lego tank or a Lego gun. Now, that's not exactly the picture of kid-friendliness, is it? But hey, it's worth raising the question. When you think about it, these brick-based guns don't exactly scream real weapon. They're more like Lego arms, and that's a good thing. After all, a real Lego lawsuit could lead to a real Lego let-go situation, and nobody wants that. But here's where the plot thickens. Lego, in their quest for diversity, decided to create not just kid-friendly versions of weaponry, but also shockingly realistic ones. Now, that's like walking on a tightrope with a clown nose. The real deal could potentially raise some eyebrows and even get banned in certain places. This whole situation makes you wonder, Lego has a universe of its own, built one brick at a time, but sometimes diversity can stir up more trouble than profit. They started as the kings and queens of the brick world, but then they ventured into uncharted territory with Lego t-shirts and video games. At one point, it nearly sent them toppling toward bankruptcy. Bankruptcy! Scaling in business is great, but let's not make every kid look like they're auditioning to be a Lego ambassador. Speaking of ambassadors, let's shift gears and talk about Lego flipping. Now that's a whole new ballgame. It's like the Olympic sport of brick balance, and I've got to say, those Lego enthusiasts who can flip their creations like pros deserve a standing ovation. It's a fine art in the world of tiny plastic bricks, and it's flipping awesome. If you go on eBay, there are a lot of misprints getting resold at double the value. I mean, look at this one. It is perfectly faceless, however, there's a catch. The print can be wiped off, so I would not trust this one. Or this olive green Joker. I'm pretty sure he had a white powder face. Now, this one here is a real and non-fabricated one, as you can see. His face is imprinted on the chest. The rarest of them all, which seems impossible, is the one with 2 heads. Yeah, you heard that right, 2 heads. At least it's better than one. Selling on eBay for $274, this one looks like it could be even made into an NFT. But this one is $1,000 Lego. Well, look at this. They printed the eye upside down. This one here looks like Wicked Ewok is suffering from a cold. Ugh. This little Spider-Man Lego decided to go for a wardrobe change that even the fashionistas of the Lego world wouldn't expect. Instead of the classic red torso piece, this Spidey went for a light blue look. It's like he took a dip in a pool of laundry detergent. This rare minifigure variant is a rebel among its red torsoed friendly comrades. Now, this nougat head should have been orange, but then this one was misprinted. Moving on, do you know Harvey Dent from Batman? The one with 2 faces? He actually has a minifigure, but they made a mistake. His good side stole a bit of purple, but people might not notice it, but Mr. Krusty Krabs here might be a rare fish in the sea. I mean, look at his face. Did you see it? he has an odd grin. Now, even though this one looks very good and let's say normal, if you look at the real one, there is a huge difference. And we all know how wide his grin can get when he's holding some green in his hands. Oh, wait, claws. Green in his claws. Now, here's a fact. Did you know that by the end of this video, LEGO would have made more than 100,000 bricks? Yup, they're a beast when it comes to printing bricks. And it is estimated that in every 10,000 bricks, at least 18 of them will have some kind of misprints or error. That's impressive, but the chances of you getting a misprint are rare. I mean, everyone loves Legos, and that is more than 1 billion people. The ratio is pretty tight if you ask me. Just a food for thought. As I come to think of it, if you ever feel the need to be perfect, just remember that a misprinted or unique Lego is worth more than a perfect Lego. So be you, like this one here. No, wait, I don't mean this one, I mean this. That was just a creepy Mickey Mouse, and with the galaxy on his hat, maybe he's just celestially high, but isn't that a twist? It turns out that not all LEGO sets are created equal, and some lucky builders have stumbled upon unique and ultra-rare pieces. These gems are like the hidden treasures of the brick world, the unicorn of your LEGO collection, and they're infinitely cooler than your run-of-the-mill LEGO sets. They bring a touch of variation to your builds and make your collection truly one of a kind. Now, here's the friendly PSA. If you're even remotely tempted to take a hammer to your Lego in the hopes of creating a unique masterpiece, please just don't do it. The original will always be, well, original. It's like trying to turn a pineapple into a watermelon. It's just not the same. But hey, speaking of unique Lego finds, let's dive into the whimsical world of Mickey misprints. It seems our favorite mouse has had a few printing mishaps of his own, adding a delightful dash of quirkiness to the Lego universe. After all, who wants a plain Mickey when you can have a Mickey with a twist? For the finale, let's look at the biggest Lego set fails. Talking about twists, have you heard of the Iron Man Lego? The Hulkbuster one? Now, don't get me wrong, they were great, but the only problem was no one liked it. The set stood 19 inches long and it had more than 4,000 pieces. This would have been perfect if only it were identical. This one looks a little malnourished and it's not even visually pleasing. I mean, if we look at this side by side, there is so much wrong with it. It is one of the biggest mistakes Lego ever made. I mean, look at the joints, the shoulders, it almost feels incomplete. Like they rushed the entire project and put it out thinking no one would know. And that head, too small. For a set that cost more than $500, I must say we deserve better. Anyway, let's move on. Have you seen this set? The Sergeant Jin Erso set looks unique, and don't get me wrong, people like them, but it's not in demand. But what's wrong with it? Now, Star Wars is a huge deal, but this one does not cut it. In 2016, when it first came out, many thought it was an abomination in Legoland, but be with me here, it does not disappear. Even though it was retired a year later in 2017, there are so many things wrong with it. The design, the color choice, and the entire set just seems so bland. That's what Gordon Ramsay said. Hulkbuster, at least you can fit an Iron Man inside. Now for the biggest of them all, let's go to Galador. This might be new to you, but it was released back in 2002, about 20 years ago. First, let's just look at them. Don't they look like big mistakes? Anyway, the late 1990s, a time when Lego was desperately searching for new horizons to conquer. In a move reminiscent of the success stories of G.I. Joe and Transformers in the 80s, someone at Lego HQ had the genius idea to launch a TV show called Galador, Defenders of the Outer Dimension, with a toy tie-in. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, as anyone who's ever suffered through an episode of that show or laid eyes on the associated Lego sets can attest, the answer is pretty bad. Let's not dive too deeply into the show's merits or lack thereof. Today, we're here to critique some 20-year-old toys, and boy, do we have some material to work with. First up, meet Nick Bluetooth. Yeah, you heard that right. Nick is an actual Lego set number 4040 to be precise. This particular set had the honor of gracing McDonald's Happy Meals in the United States, but it wasn't alone in its struggle. Lego churned out a total of 9 Galador sets, one for each of the show's main characters. Unfortunately, these constructible figures did not quite hit the mark. The idea behind these figures was to break them down into 10 to 12 parts, remix and match them in various ways, a quintessential LEGO concept. However, many of the parts were just downright dull and uninspired, hardly befitting a show about alien monsters. Even Nick and his buddy Allegra look like they're missing the LEGO magic. Oh, and who could forget Allegra's perplexing pet? If you can remember what that thing was, do let us know in the comments. The bad guy, Gorm Deluxe, is mostly a sea of plain black pieces, although Uni gets some credit for being pretty cool. But overall, this line felt more like a misfire than a galactic conquest. To add a fun fact to this Galador saga, one of the sets, the TDN module, or Eggship as it was called in the show, holds the title for being the single heaviest LEGO piece ever released in a set. It was basically just a giant hunk of plastic. Thankfully, the show and its associated LEGO sets were short-lived, but the memories, or should we say the nightmares, will last a lifetime. Here's to the fascinating failures in the world of toys and entertainment.